I still remember the exact sound it made when the ring hit the hardwood floor. A sharp metallic clink, then a soft roll, then silence. My wife's wedding band. The one I'd saved 3 months' salary to buy 26 years ago. She'd thrown it at my chest during an argument about her son, but her aim was off. It bounced once and settled near the dining room table leg. I didn't pick it up. I just looked at her standing there in the kitchen doorway, chest heaving, face red with anger. And I thought, when did this woman become a stranger? "You don't get to talk about my son that way," she said, her voice shaking. "You never have. You're not his father." I wasn't angry. That's what surprised me most. I was just tired. I never said I was. I replied quietly. I just said he needs to pay back what he borrowed. "It wasn't borrowed," she snapped. "It was given, by me, from our account. Not borrowed. Given. $12,000, transferred without discussion, without my knowledge, to a 38-year-old man who hadn't held a steady job in 5 years. I bent down, picked up the ring and set it on the counter. Then I walked upstairs to the guest room and closed the door. That was 4 months ago. Jennifer and I met when I was 31 and she was 33. She'd been divorced for 2 years. Her son, Kyle, was 12 at the time. Sweet kid back then. Or at least I thought so. Quiet. Polite enough. He called me sir for the first year. I wasn't trying to replace his father. I made that clear from the beginning. His dad lived 2 towns over, saw him every other weekend, paid his child support on time. I was just the guy dating his mom. I kept my distance, let him come to me if he wanted to. He never really did. But that was fine. I was patient. I figured it would take time. Jennifer and I got married a year later. Small ceremony. Kyle was there, stood next to his mom during the vows, didn't smile much. I didn't push it. 13 is a tough age. Divorce is hard on kids. I understood. I worked in logistics management. Good salary, stable, benefits. Jennifer worked part-time at a dental office. Between us, we were comfortable. Not wealthy, but comfortable. We bought a house together in a decent neighborhood, 3 bedrooms. Kyle got the bigger of the 2 spare rooms. I paid for most of the down payment. That first year of marriage was good. We fell into a rhythm. Jennifer cooked. I did repairs around the house. We took a vacation to the coast. Kyle stayed with his dad that week. When he came back, I'd repainted his room the color he'd mentioned wanting. He said thanks, but he said it to his mom, not to me. I told myself it didn't matter. The years went by. Kyle grew up. High school came and went. He was an average student, BS and Cs mostly. I offered to help with homework once or twice. He said he was fine. Jennifer said I should give him space. So I did. When he turned 18, his father moved out of state for work. The visits stopped. The child support stopped. Kyle seemed fine with it. He never mentioned missing his dad. Jennifer worried about it sometimes late at night, but during the day she didn't bring it up. Kyle graduated high school and said he wanted to take a year off before college to figure things out. I didn't argue. It was his life. Jennifer supported him. He got a part-time job at a grocery store, quit after 6 months, then worked at a hardware store for a while. Quit that too. "He's finding himself," Jennifer said. I nodded. He was living at home, rent-free, eating our food, using our Wi-Fi. I paid the mortgage. I paid the property taxes. I paid for the utilities, the insurance, the HOA fees. Jennifer contributed what she could from her part-time salary, but most of the financial weight was on me. I didn't mind. I loved her. And Kyle was her son. That meant something. The year off became 2 years, then 3, then 5. He was 23 and still living in that bedroom I'd painted for him when he was 13. Still working part-time, still quitting jobs every few months, still contributing nothing to the household. Jennifer made excuses. The job market was tough, he was depressed, he needed support, not pressure. I stayed quiet. I started working overtime to cover the increasing expenses. Jennifer's hours got cut at the dental office. Kyle bought himself a gaming computer with money from somewhere. I didn't ask. He spent most of his time in his room, door closed, talking loudly into a headset at 2 in the morning. I bought noise-canceling earplugs. When Kyle turned 25, I gently suggested he might want to look into getting his own place. Jennifer's face went cold. "He's not ready," she said. "He's 25, I said carefully. "He's my son." "I know. I'm not saying kick him out. I'm just saying, maybe we help him find an apartment, help with the first month's rent, give him a push." "A push?" she repeated, her voice tight. "You mean abandon him?" "That's not what I said. That's what you meant." The conversation ended there. Kyle stayed. He never bought the car. When Kyle turned 28, he started dating a woman named Amber. She moved into our house within 3 months. Just moved in. One day, there were extra shoes by the door and her makeup in the bathroom. I asked Jennifer if we'd discuss this. She had nowhere else to go, Jennifer said. What was Kyle supposed to do? Find his own place with her, I suggested. Jennifer looked at me like I'd suggested he live on the street. Amber didn't work. Neither of them paid rent. I was now supporting 4 people on my salary. I worked more overtime. I stopped buying myself new clothes. I drove my car an extra 2 years past when I should have replaced it. Jennifer didn't notice. Kyle and Amber fought constantly. Loud, ugly fights at midnight, at 3 in the morning, doors slamming, her crying, him shouting. I'd lie awake in bed listening to it through the walls, wondering how I'd ended up here. One night I got up and knocked on their door. Kyle opened it, shirtless, annoyed. "Can you keep it down?" I asked. "It's a work night." He stared at me for a long moment, then smirked. "It's my house too," he said. Then he closed the door. I stood there in the hallway in my pajamas, listening to Amber laugh on the other side of the door. The next morning, Jennifer said Kyle told her I'd been rude to him. "I asked him to be quiet," I said. "He said you demanded it." "I didn't demand anything," she sighed. "He's stressed. Amber's going through a lot." I didn't respond. Amber left 2 months later. Just packed up and disappeared one afternoon while Kyle was out. He came home, saw her stuff gone, and trashed his room. Punched a hole in the wall I'd repainted 3 times over the years. I patched the hole the next weekend. Kyle didn't say thank you. "What about Kyle?" I asked. Her face changed. "What about him?" "Where will he go?" She set down her wine glass. "He'll come with us," she said simply. I stared at her. "Jennifer, he's 30 years old. He's my son." "I know, but I'm not abandoning him." That word again. Abandon. I didn't bring it up again. My retirement plans quietly disappeared. Kyle cycled through more jobs. He worked at a call center for 4 months, got fired for attendance issues. He worked at a warehouse for 6 weeks, quit because it was too physical. He did some gig delivery work for a while, but that dried up. Jennifer gave him money for gas, for food, for phone bills. I paid the mortgage. I paid the property tax. I paid for the insurance. I started eating lunch at my desk to save money. When Kyle turned 33, he got into some kind of online trading thing. Crypto, stocks, something. He talked about it constantly, used words I didn't understand, said he was going to make it big. He asked Jennifer for $2,000 to invest. She gave it to him. I found out when I checked our joint savings account and saw the withdrawal. "That was our emergency fund," I said, trying to keep my voice level. "It's an investment," Jennifer said. "He's going to pay us back double." Did he say that? He implied it. He didn't pay us back double. He didn't pay us back at all. 3 months later, he needed another $1,500. Market dip, he said, had to buy low. Jennifer transferred it. I didn't say anything. I started keeping my paychecks in a separate account. Jennifer made his favorite meal. He barely looked up from his phone during it. Afterward, he asked if we could talk. Jennifer and I sat down in the living room. Kyle sat across from us, leaning forward, elbows on his knees. "I've been thinking," he started. "I want to start a business." Jennifer's face lit up. "What kind of business?" she asked. "Consulting," he said vaguely. "Online. helping people with investments. I almost laughed, but I didn't. That sounds wonderful, Jennifer said. Kyle looked at me. I need startup capital, he said. How much? I asked. 20,000. The room went silent. That's a lot of money, I said carefully. It's an investment, Kyle said, echoing his mother's words from years ago. I'll pay you back. Kyle, you've never paid us back for anything, I said, keeping my tone even. His face hardened. Jennifer's hand flew to her chest like I'd slapped her. That's not fair, she said. It's true, I replied. He's trying, she said, her voice rising. He's finally trying, and you're just, I'm being realistic. Kyle stood up. Forget it, he said coldly. I should have known. He walked out. Jennifer turned to me, her eyes wet. Why do you have to be like this? She asked. Like what? So unsupportive. So cold. I looked at my wife of over 2 decades and felt a hollow space open in my chest. I've supported him his entire adult life, I said quietly. I've never asked for anything back. He's my son, she whispered. I know, I said. But she wasn't listening anymore. There was a pause. Kyle needed it, she said. We talked about this. You said no. I didn't. That's our money, Jennifer. It's my money too, she said defensively. I have a right to use it. For what? He doesn't have a business plan. He doesn't have clients. He's never run a business in his life. You don't believe in him. I don't believe in throwing money away. She hung up. When she came home that night, we didn't speak. Kyle came downstairs around 9, grabbed food from the fridge, didn't acknowledge me. I sat in the living room in the dark, staring at nothing. The next day, I moved some of my savings into a private account Jennifer didn't have access to. Not all of it. Just enough to protect myself. I felt guilty doing it, but I did it anyway. The $12,000 vanished into internet courses, a new laptop, a website that never launched, and God knows what else. He didn't mention paying us back. Jennifer didn't mention it either. I stopped asking. 3 months later, Kyle asked for another $8,000. This time I said no before Jennifer could respond. We don't have it, I said firmly. Kyle looked at his mother. Jennifer looked at me. We have savings, she said. Not for this, I replied. It's my money too, she said again, her voice rising. Then use your money, I said. Your half. Leave mine alone. Her face went pale. You're serious? She asked. Yes. Kyle laughed. A short, bitter sound. Wow, he said, looking at me like I was something dirty on the bottom of his shoe. You really don't give a shit about me, do you? I met his eyes. I've given you a home for 26 years, I said evenly. I've fed you. I've clothed you. I've paid for everything you've ever needed. I've asked for nothing in return, but I'm not giving you any more money. He stared at me. Jennifer stared at me. You're unbelievable, Kyle said finally. Then he turned to his mother. I can't believe you married this guy. He walked out. Jennifer didn't move for a long moment. Then she looked at me, and her expression was something I'd never seen before. He's my son, she said, her voice shaking. I know. You've never accepted him. That's not true. You've tolerated him, she said, her words sharp now. You've never loved him. I took a slow breath. I've tried, I said. For 26 years I've tried, but you can't make someone love you, and he's never wanted anything from me except money. That's not fair. Maybe not, I said, but it's true. She stood there, trembling, and I could see her deciding something. If you don't help him, she said slowly, I will. With what? I asked. Whatever I have. You have nothing without me, I said. It came out harsher than I meant, but it was the truth. Her face twisted. How dare you, she whispered. It's not an insult. It's a fact. I've paid for everything for 2.5 decades. She stepped closer and I could see the anger radiating off her. "You think that makes you better than us?" she asked. "No," I said. "I think it makes me tired." She reached up and yanked her wedding ring off her finger. "Then maybe you should leave," she said. She threw the ring at me. It hit the floor. It hit. And I realized, standing there in the kitchen I'd renovated with my own hands in the house I'd been paying for since before Kyle could drive, that I was done. I thought about every birthday party I'd helped plan, every bill I'd paid without complaint, every time I'd bitten my tongue when Kyle dismissed me or Jennifer defended him. I thought about the retirement I'd postponed, the vacations I'd skipped, the dreams I'd quietly buried. I thought about the man I'd been when I met Jennifer and the man I was now, and I realized I didn't recognize him anymore. The next morning, Jennifer knocked on the door. "We need to talk," she said through the wood. "I know," I replied, but I didn't open the door. The joint accounts were legally half mine. "Do you want a divorce?" he asked. I didn't answer right away. "I don't know," I said finally. "I just want to protect myself." He nodded. "Smart," he said. "Start documenting everything. Bank statements, mortgage payments, utility bills, everything you've paid for. If it comes to it, you'll need proof." I started gathering documents that weekend while Jennifer was at work and Kyle was asleep. I made copies of everything. Bank records going back years, credit card statements, tax returns, receipts I'd kept in a filing cabinet in the basement. It took me 3 days. I stored everything in a safe deposit box at a bank across town. Then I opened a new checking account in my name only and rerouted my direct deposit. I didn't tell Jennifer. I kept paying the mortgage from the joint account, kept paying the utilities, kept everything looking normal. But I stopped depositing into savings, and I stopped spending on anything unnecessary. Jennifer noticed after a week. "Why is there less money going into savings?" she asked one evening. "I'm putting some aside," I said. "For what?" "For me." She stared at me. "Are you planning something?" she asked slowly. "I'm planning to take care of myself," I said. Her face went hard. "After everything I've done for you, what have you done for me?" I asked, and I didn't say it angrily. I said it genuinely, because I really wanted to know. She opened her mouth, closed it. "I've been your wife," she said finally. "Yes," I agreed. "You have." We stood there in the kitchen, two people who'd shared a bed for over 2 decades, and I realized we had nothing else to say to each other. I didn't respond. He shifted his weight. "Are you?" he asked. "I don't know yet," I said honestly. He nodded slowly, looking at the floor. "Look," he said, "I know we've never been close." "No," I agreed. "We haven't. And I know I've been difficult." I almost smiled at the understatement. "Yeah," I said. He looked up at me then, and for just a moment I saw something in his face that looked almost like vulnerability. "I didn't ask for you," he said quietly. "I didn't ask for my parents to get divorced. I didn't ask for my dad to leave. I didn't ask for you to show up and try to replace him." "I never tried to replace him," I said. "You married my mom." "Yes." "You moved into our life." "She invited me," I said. He looked away. "I know," he said, "but it still felt like you were taking something." I studied him. "What was I taking?" I asked. "Her attention," he said. "Her money, her loyalty." "Her loyalty," I repeated. "She used to put me first," he said, and there was an edge to his voice now. "Before you, it was just me and her. We were a team. Then you came along and suddenly everything was about you. What you thought. What you wanted." I shook my head slowly. "Kyle," I said, "I've never put myself first in this house. Not once." "Bullshit," he said. "Name one time," I challenged. "One time I asked for something for myself that took away from you." He stared at me. He couldn't. "That's what I thought," I said quietly. He clenched his jaw. "You don't understand," he said. "You're right," I agreed. I don't. Because I've spent 26 years trying to understand you, trying to make space for you, trying to respect your relationship with your mother, and you've spent 26 years resenting me for existing. His face flushed. You think you're so noble, he said, his voice rising. You think you're such a good guy because you paid some bills and kept your mouth shut. But you don't get it. You were never supposed to be here. Then where was I supposed to be? I asked. Anywhere but here, he said. The words hung in the air. I nodded slowly. Okay, I said. Okay what? Okay, I repeated. I understand now. He looked confused. Understand what? That no matter what I did, it was never going to be enough, I said, because you never wanted me here in the first place. He didn't deny it. I picked up the wrench again and turned back to the toolbox. You can go, I said. That's it? He asked. That's it. He stood there for another moment, then left. I heard him go upstairs. I heard his door slam, and I kept organizing my tools. The confrontation happened 3 weeks later. Jennifer came home from work earlier than usual. I was in the living room reading. She dropped her purse on the couch and stood in front of me. I talked to Kyle, she said. I set down my book. Okay, I said. He told me what you said. I said a lot of things. You told him you're done. I didn't say that. You implied it. I looked at her. What do you want from me, Jennifer? I asked. I want you to try, she said. I have been trying for 26 years. Not hard enough. I stood up. What does that mean? I asked. What more could I have done? I gave him a home. I fed him. I supported him financially into his 30s. I never asked him to leave. I never treated him badly. I never said a harsh word to him until recently. What else was I supposed to do? Love him, she said simply. I tried, I said, but love isn't just a decision. You can't force it. And he never gave me a chance. Because you never gave him one, she shot back. That's not true. Yes, it is, she said, her voice breaking. From the beginning, you kept your distance. You were polite, but you were cold. You never really let him in. He never let me in, I said. He made it clear from day one that I was an outsider. He was a child. And then he was a teenager. And then he was an adult. At what point was he responsible for his own behavior? She shook her head. You don't get it, she said. You're not a parent. You don't understand. The words hit me harder than I expected. No, I said quietly. I'm not a parent. Because you never let me be one. Her eyes widened. What? Every time I tried to set a boundary, you overruled me, I said. Every time I had an opinion about how to handle something with Kyle, you dismissed it. You made it clear that he was yours, not ours. So I stayed out of it. I did what you wanted. And now you're angry that I'm not close to him. That's not fair, she whispered. Maybe not, I said. But it's true. She looked at me, and I saw something crumble in her face. So what now? She asked. I don't know, I said. Are you leaving? I don't know, I said again. Do you still love me? She asked, and her voice was so small. I thought about it. I thought about the woman I'd married, the one who laughed at my jokes and held my hand during movies and talked about growing old together. I thought about the woman standing in front of me now, who'd thrown her wedding ring at me over her adult son. I don't know, I said for the third time. She started crying. I didn't move to comfort her. He needed first and last month's rent and a deposit. I closed my eyes. You gave him $8,000, I said slowly, without telling me. I knew you'd say no. Because we can't afford it. It's my son, she said, and her voice had that edge again. It's our account, I said. I'm his mother, she said. I have a right to help him. With my money, I said. It's our money. No, I said, and I felt something hard settle in my chest. It's not anymore. What does that mean? It means I'm done, I said. She didn't respond. I've spent 26 years supporting you and your son, I continued, my voice steady. I've paid for everything. I've sacrificed everything. And you've taken every dollar I've earned and given it to a man who's done nothing but disrespect me. He's my son, she said again, like a mantra. And I'm your husband, I said. Or I was. Was? She repeated, her voice rising. I'm filing for divorce, I said. The line went dead. She came home an hour later. She walked into the living room where I was sitting. You're serious, she said. Yes. Because of Kyle. Because of you, I corrected. Because you chose him over me. Every time. For 26 years. I didn't choose, she said desperately. I was just trying to take care of my son. And I was trying to take care of you, I said. But you didn't care about that. That's not true. Then where's the ring? I asked. She blinked. What? Your wedding ring, I said. The one you threw at me. Did you ever put it back on? She looked down at her bare hand. I forgot, she whispered. No, you didn't, I said. You just stopped caring. She sank onto the couch, her face in her hands. I can't believe this is happening, she said. Neither can I said, but here we are. I took my half of the equity in cash. Kyle helped her with the paperwork. I heard from a mutual friend that he'd moved into an apartment about 10 minutes away from Jennifer's place. The $8,000 she'd given him for rent had apparently covered 3 months, after which he'd quit his latest job and moved back home. The apartment he'd supposedly rented never existed. My lawyer told me I could potentially pursue the money, but I told him not to bother. It wasn't worth it. Jennifer called me once during the separation period. I don't understand why you're doing this, she said. I know, I said. We could fix this. No, I said gently. We couldn't. Because I chose Kyle? Because you never saw me, I said. You saw a paycheck, a roommate, someone to fill space, but you never saw me. That's not true, she protested, but there was no conviction in her voice. Take care of yourself, Jennifer, I said. Wait. I hung up. It's done, he said. Okay, I said. You all right? He asked. Yeah, I said. I'm fine. And I was. I joined a book club at the local library. I'm dating someone. Her name is Patricia. She's 53, divorced, no kids. She's a teacher. She makes me laugh. We're taking it slow. I told her about Jennifer and Kyle on our third date. She listened quietly, then took my hand and said, You deserved better. I nodded. Yeah, I said. I did. I was at the grocery store putting things in my cart, and I turned around and there he was. He looked thinner, tired. His clothes were wrinkled. Hey, he said. Hey, I replied. We stood there for a moment. How's your mom? I asked. She's okay, he said, struggling a little with the bills. I nodded but didn't offer to help. He seemed to realize I wasn't going to. She misses you, he said. Yeah, I said. Do you miss her? He asked. I thought about it. No, I said honestly. Not anymore. He looked surprised. Really? Really, I said. I miss the person I thought she was. But that person doesn't exist. He shifted his weight, uncomfortable. For what it's worth, he said. I'm sorry, for everything. I studied him. He looked sincere. Maybe he was. Okay, I said. That's it? He asked. Just okay? What do you want me to say? I asked. I don't know, he admitted. Kyle, I said. I spent 26 years trying to earn your respect, your affection, something. I paid for your life. I gave you every chance, and you gave me nothing but resentment. I know, he said quietly. So I'm glad you're sorry, I said. But it doesn't change anything. He nodded slowly. I get it, he said. Good, I said. I started to push my cart past him. "Hey," he called after me. I stopped and looked back. "Were you happy?" he asked. "When you were with us?" I thought about the question. "No," I said. "Not for a long time." "Are you happy now?" he asked. I smiled. "Yeah," I said. "I am." He nodded again, and I saw something in his face. Regret, maybe? Realization. "Good," he said quietly. "That's good." I left him standing there in the cereal aisle. I think about Patricia and our plans to take a trip to the mountains next month. I think about the book I'm reading and whether I'll finish it before book club next week. I think about what I want for dinner and whether I should go for a bike ride tomorrow morning. I think about the life I'm building one quiet day at a time, and for the first time in over 2 decades, I'm at peace.